everyone, and welcome back to the next video in this extended series of videos released in succession, providing a full read-through of every witness statement from the UK trial between Johnny Depp and NGN. I hope you find this series informative, and here we go. John Christopher Depp II versus News Group Newspapers Limited and Dan Wooten. Witness statement of Malcolm Connelly. I, Malcolm Connelly of Malcolm Connelly Security. I work in personal security and have done so for the past 23 years. I have worked for the claimant, Johnny, and his family for the past 16 years. Unless otherwise stated, the facts and matters referred to in this witness statement are within my own knowledge and are true to the best of my knowledge, information and belief, based on sources stated within this witness statement. I make this witness statement in support of the claimant in these proceedings. I do not know the full details of the claimant's claims against the defendants in these proceedings. I make this witness statement in response to paragraphs 99 through 130 of the witness statement of Amber Heard, dated 15th of December 2019, which I have seen and in which she refers to an incident in early March 2015 in Australia. I was working for Johnny in Australia in March 2015 at the time of this incident, and I can say that Amber's account of when we had to take him to hospital to treat his finger injury on 8th of March 2015 bears no resemblance to my recollection. At the time, I was staying in an apartment block called Peppers in Broad Beach. Most of the crew and security were all stationed there. I remember at some point, in the middle of the afternoon on the 8th of March 2015, getting an urgent call from Jerry Judge, who is no longer with us, but who used to be in charge of Johnny's security. Jerry had been doing something else that day and so wasn't around. He told me to get out to the property urgently with Andrew, the driver. His words were along the lines of, "Malcolm, get in the car, extract the boss from the situation." The property was just off the highway with a long drive. Outside patrolling the grounds for security reasons, there was always an RST, resident security team, with 2 4-wheel drive vehicles and 4 guys. I got to the door at around 1:30 to 2 p.m. and knocked, but there was no answer. I could hear the ruckus inside. I opened the door, which wasn't locked, and saw Johnny in the foyer area of the house. He and Amber were screaming at each other. She was wearing sort of a green silk night thing. You might call it a slip. I shouted at Johnny words to the effect of, "Come with me, you're coming with me." I then took his arm trying to move him out, but he broke away. I said again words to the effect of, "Johnny, come with me." It wasn't easy, but I did get him outside. I had the car door open, and when we were outside, Johnny said to me words to the effect of, "Look at my finger. She's cut my fucking finger off. She smashed my hand with a vodka bottle." I saw his finger, and it was a mess. He also told us that she had put a cigarette out on his cheek. I could see the mark on his face. Amber appeared at the door and then came close to the car, screaming and crying, calling out words along the lines of, "Are you just going to leave like this, you fucking coward?" Then she was saying, I love you, is this how you're going to end this?" She was not making a lot of sense. One second she was begging Johnny not to leave the house, and then she was screaming at him for running away. She was absolutely hysterical. I was worried that she might start throwing objects at Johnny or at myself, as I had seen her throw objects before. For example, I had seen her lob a fork in Johnny's general direction once. Another time I recall she threw a lighter at him. Another time a can of Coke. I knew that we needed to get out of there as soon as possible. I could see Amber's face very clearly. She did not have any marks on her face or arms. She didn't look in any physical distress. I was much more concerned about Johnny. He was obviously in emotional distress and panicking. He wasn't that drunk or out of it though, and was easily standing on his own and having a conversation. I would estimate that I was there for around 25 minutes in total. We then took Johnny to my apartment at around 2 p.m. on the basis it was private. Fortunately, one of my guys, Trevor, was there when we were getting into the lift, and I told him to stop anyone else using the lift so I could get Johnny in without anyone seeing him. As soon as we got into my apartment, I started cleaning Johnny's finger in my bathroom when I saw it properly. I knew it was too much for me, even though I am first aid trained. Debbie, Dr. Kipper's nurse, had been allocated an apartment in the same block as me. I called her, got her to my apartment. It took her about 3 minutes from when I called her, and she started the triage on Johnny's finger. She then called Dr. Kipper and asked him to come over and have a second look. When Dr. Kipper arrived, probably about 30 minutes after Johnny and I had got there, he said it was way beyond his capability and told us that we needed to take Johnny to hospital. Jerry and I then took Johnny to hospital with Dr. Kipper and Nurse Debbie. It must have been around 4:30 to 5 p.m. We knew that we could not let the true cause of Johnny's injuries become known, as this would create extremely bad publicity. And as a result, Jerry suggested that we should say Johnny had injured his finger while slicing onions. I thought it was fairly obvious that this was not true, given the severity of the injury, and suggested we say he jammed it in a car door. However, we went with the onion cover story. The specialist didn't believe us for 1 second. Johnny didn't go back to the house over the next few days. Instead, he stayed in my apartment with me. I believe that the facts stated in this witness statement are true. Malcolm Connelly, 25th of February 2020.